Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody is really doing well. Welcome to this live stream. How's everyone doing? Today is the day that it's like things are so going fast, or I would say quick. Basically, we were expecting this all-time highs for Bitcoin. I was personally expecting after halving, and now that we are here, of course, the all-time highs are very, very close. I mean, yesterday we went very close to for the all-time highs. Practically, that's like a range that we have for a premium zone. This is the range, and we retested the 64.9. I got stopped out on my long in profits at 65.5 because I moved my stop loss there. So overall, I think things are looking good at this point. I really don't see any sort of a weakness, but something to consider that yes, especially we are into the we are literally into the premium zone, so we just have to be very, very cautious. Yesterday also I mentioned, as a trader, you need to understand that we are into the premium zone. So as a trader, basically you need to wait for either the price to get accepted. We already got an acceptance yesterday inside this premium zone. That's like a strong signal in my view, with a strong candle close almost at 68,360. That's a strong sign. Honestly, if you ask me, that this is really this is perfectly, in my view, the first sign we want to look whether the price is bullish or not. So this is the first sign that I can say that yes, the price got acceptance inside this, and it's looking good. It's looking good. Well, bull market on, mister. Yes, it was on. Actually, it was on, and I realized it when we started pumping from $24,000. That was the first indication that the bull market is on practically. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the most important part about this bull run is that there are a lot of opportunities which is going to happen and which is going to come. It's just that we need to have patience. If you have bought these spots, you need to calm down. You need to hold for a few days. You might be underwater, but trust me, those few days would be worth it, because now we would be targeting 5x 6x gains. So you should be ready to sacrifice at least 30 to 40% of your risk. That's how you're gonna make big in this bull run. So just to give you a heads up, our Bitcoin spots are officially now up with the 68,500 touch, almost more than 72% gains. We bought at 39,000. Congratulations for those who are holding it. My spot backs bought at 16,800, and I've been talking about it since August when I started this community, 21 on technicals. I'm holding it, and I'm just gonna keep on holding it. I'm not intending to sell. Even if it go back from here to $19,000, I don't care, because I know that 400,000 is going to happen, and it's gonna come. Of course, if we see that the price gonna dump from here to 19k, which is a very less scenario at this point, because we don't see any sign of a reversal yet, then probably we will hedge it. But for now, nothing. We are bull. Just let it ride. Don't even look at those bags. You don't have to be worried about it if you're having spot bags. Now, talking about Bitcoin scalps, honestly, we are in the premium zone. I am very much not happy, or I would not take that risk to give you the scalps. Yes, I mentioned yesterday, if Bitcoin gives you that dip, a retest of 64,959, you should take it with invalidation 64.3. If you would have took it yesterday, you would have made big gains. It went to 68,500. Amazing, congratulations, you made good money. But you know, practically at this point I would not be giving you any Bitcoin scalps, because we are in the premium zone, ladies and gentlemen. You just need to understand there are two ways of playing this. First, let the price get acceptance above this, we hold, we accumulate here, and then we go. So this is where we go again. Once it get acceptance, we need a closure. So that would be the first sign to go in. Second, flush, make new all-time highs, flush, give that 15-20% flush, and we retest the levels of 59,500. Maybe it can even do a retest of slightly maybe lower, somewhere around this whole volumetric candle that we have. So we might just go around 58,871, the 1:1 extension. The best would be the previous week value area low around 57,600. So that would be like a flush, and boom, a V-shaped recovery, highs, again chop, accumulation, take everyone out, reset everything and go. So that was the second thing. Yesterday also, when we were having the Zoom call with traders, all the traders or all those who are going to be good traders actually in coming days from our community, I'm so believing in them actually, because I know you guys are going to be good traders, and many of you guys are proving it. Just stay humble, guys, because you need to run and you need to go very much high, and that is only going to happen when you stay humble, be helpful to others, because that's how you grow, and that's how you're going to make big. Second important thing is that once Bitcoin give us the reset, we are buying the dips. Trust me, alts are not going to run when Bitcoin flips or makes new all-time highs. Alts are going to get freeze. Money is going to come to Bitcoin from alts. Bitcoin might pump from here straight, after a little bit of accumulation. Alts are going to pump towards Bitcoin is going to pump for another 50-60%. Max it can go to 80% without giving you any sort of a retracement, meaning that it can literally pump 103k, 110k or so at that point of time. So alts are going to pump, but then when Bitcoin is going to run, alts are going to slowly move. Bitcoin pumps 50-60%, alts are gonna just do maybe 5%, 10%, at the max 12-15%. And once Bitcoin starts dropping, maybe a flush little bit, alts are going to go rocket. The money is going to start going into alts, and that's where that's where our alts are going to print big. So just have some patience for maybe till we know exactly what we are going to do from this premium zone. Looking to the EW wave count, as I mentioned yesterday as well, I'm not that fan of the 5 waves over here, but something to consider about that. This might be 1, 2, and this might be your big wave 3. You got this pump with a huge volume, and then now you're making higher highs with low volume. Of course, there might be or might not be a bad divergence as of now, but this clearly indicates that a push happening with the low volume after the high volume that this is some sort of a move which might be coming to an end. Practically this might be your wave 3 actually. Normally wave 3 makes highs, so we might sweep the highs. Wave 4 might come as a surprise, like a flush, as I mentioned, a retest, and then we can do something like this. So something to keep in mind, guys, for Bitcoin at this point on the lower term time frame. Talking about my alts, our Bitcoin spot bags are up 71%. Our CRV bags are up almost 30%. Our Neo, it filled my first entry. Pico bottom, guys, Pico. That was a good levels. And 50% in so far, and it just pumped 9.7%. And sorry, 7.7%. And Atom, the bag that we are holding, and Atom looks amazing in my view. So far it pumped 9.7%. So everything over and all looks good in my view. Our spot bags are printing. Now talking about our, views, or before I go deep dive, I just want to show you one thing. Hold on. I'll just bring that thing on my chart over here. So as I mentioned that we are going to launch our website, and I just want to give you a demo as to what you can expect from our website. So that's what I want to show you, and probably that should be very, very helpful personally to me. I'm not sure about you guys because I've made it for me actually. And as we were not having that much time, I'm going to release it with, everybody will be able to access it for free. And probably in next few days or maybe a month time, we're going to have it hide with practically only premium members will be able to use it. So this is our this is our hold on. So yeah, so this is our divergence screener, which is going to happen on our website, ladies and gentlemen. And this divergence screener, RSR, of course, RSR I'm holding up, and it's going big actually. And I think RSR can do 10x. Now this is the screener that I was talking about. This is our divergence bot basically. Our divergence bot that gives notification. So we have converted that bot into a screener. So we will have bot as well as the screener. But for a lot of people who wanted to have screener, it's easy for them to know everything over here. So that's where the screener comes into the picture. You see every latest update or notification that's going to happen. This is going to change the 1, 2, 3. Automatically it's gonna refresh. It's gonna change. Latest notifications are gonna come up here. This is like for a 15 minutes time frame. This is like 15 minutes time frame, and you will be able to know that RSI, MACD, OBV, CVD, stochastic, everything is having a bullish divergence. Now on the top right, you can see over here. So there are hidden divergences. For hidden divergences, this is what the two symbols are for bears and bulls. For regular divergences, these are the two symbols that we have for bear and bull. So these are all hidden divergences over here that we are forming. Remember, hidden divergences are powerful, but also they are very high likely to not play out as well. Why? Because hidden divergences practically means absorption, and that might not play out. Also, the time is going to come as to what time this divergence came, so that basically whether it has come recently or not. Similarly, what are the list of currency pairs that we are running, or this screener is going to give you the divergences for. So you will be able to see it here on the right side. As you can see, this is a list that we have for all these coins. The bot is going to scan for it, and you'll be getting a live update. You can from here you can change like 1 hour time frame. You can have it. So if you change the 1 hour time frame, then it's going to update the 1 hour probably. if any notifications would have come for 1 hour, it's going to show you. You see on the 1 hour time frame over here, things have updated. Dodo, Mask, Late, SXP, IMX, and TWT, Omisco, Bell, KNC, Bitcoin, BTC1 is your CME chart basically, and the 1 hour time frame, whether it is bullish, bearish, and so on and henceforth. What is the current price? So basically, this is what the basic indication that can help you, but remember over here to check it out whether these are hidden divergences or regular divergences, and that way you can play. Regular divergences are more powerful in my view when it comes to the accuracy levels. They're very, very accurate. When it comes to the hidden divergences, they tends to invalidate very, very quickly because of the bullishness, or basically because of the trend basically. So that's what the screener that we have here. Okay, now let's go to the another screener, which would be our breaker screener. Okay, so this will be our breaker screener, guys. So our breaker bot, basically, if you remember, we had our breaker bot and we have it right now as well, but then we have made a screener because it becomes very difficult for anyone to if you really want to have it under one roof, everything, then this is the best way to check yourself. Looking at the 15 minutes time frame for now on the breaker bot or a breaker screener, basically, if you look at here, you see the breaker bot is going to help you with why it's not working. Maybe it is under maintenance or what. Unfortunately, there were some bugs, so yeah, now it's working. So as you can see here, the breaker screener, it is also going to give you same thing. So we are slightly improvising it, cosmetic changes, not much. And what is going to help you is, so the latest notifications are going to come up over here. A resistance and support is going to have a bull bear sign, basically this one, a bull as well as bear, a breakdown with a bear, a breakout with a bull. Okay, so notice notification would come that, for example, Mask USD per Peps, the current market price of Mask at which this notification came was 4.82. The resistance level is at 4.892. So basically Mask is going to the resistance level. So something we need to look for. Once this level is flipped, Mask will run up high. Similarly for BAKE, SFP, and RLC. Similarly, we also have the list down over here as well. And what is the most important part about it is, for example, let's say KSM, and you got this notification bear, which means that it's a breakdown. It gave a notification that it just broke down basically. But if you really want to go deep about KSM, just type it here, KSM USDT.p, and what is going to give you all the notifications it has for KSM so far it has given, so that basically the levels. So if you look at the KSM, the first signal it gave was that 56.02 was your resistance. Now that we flipped the resistance, the price is literally at 56.07. So it is not yet flipped, honestly. And once it flips, because we are at resistance, once it flips, this is going to run up very, very big. Similarly, just ignore all the other, signals, because we were testing at that point of time, and these are some fake signals. But yes, the latest ones are okay, are fine. Similarly, you can also check any coin over here to know what are the resistance and support levels basically. So if you can just type ETH USDT.p over here, it's going to scan, and if there are signals, it's going to find it for you. Let's see. So for ETH, it don't have it. For example, do we have anything for RSR USDT.p? So for RSR, let's see. It don't take much time, maybe a few seconds, but it should give you if it has captured anything, so far. So as it don't have any historical data for RSR, it's not giving for now. So that's how you will be able to see all the support resistance, not only on 15 minutes time frame, but you will be able to look the same for 1 hour, 4 hour, daily and weekly. So you have big time over here. as someone mentioned that, posted a chart on big time and it's 3% up, correct? Let's see what our breakout indicator mentioned, or breakout bot basically mentioned, what are the resistance levels and how it has played out. So you see big time, all these notifications came for big time. So the notification came at today's morning that when current price was at 0.4998, or you can say very close to those levels, we were having a resistance. So since morning 5078, the big time was having this resistance. But before that, big time already broke out. You see the bull sign. From where it broke out? From this support of 4731. 4731 was the support on big time. Basically that was the resistance actually. Now that resistance turned into a support at 4731, and then we got a breakout. So once that breakout happened on big time, you see the price literally pumped to 0.505, and now then we have another resistance at 0.5078. So once the 0.5078 also breaks out, the big time is going to run big. You can check it probably on 1 hour as well, if big time is having any sort of a resistance on 1 hour, or maybe whatever the levels it has on 1 hour, if the bot has captured anything so far, basically. But remember, the bot, the screener is going to work majority for the desktop. We haven't made a UI for a mobile. So for desktop, this is the desktop version, guys, and it works perfectly fine for desktop. I haven't made it for mobile version. Mobile, you might see some different UI or so. It is going to work, but you might not be comfortable in using it as to the way it might look. I haven't tested it because we just made it for practically the desktop version. But this is how you will be able to catch. Just keep on tracking this. The site can't reach, which means that the developer is working and probably is going to move it now. So that's what, guys. Just wanted to share a little bit about whatever screeners would be, and I'm very much excited to launch. And practically till we don't have the sign up features, basically the login ID password feature for you guys, we're going to have it open for public. So let people use it, and maybe if they like it, they will join us for much detailed screeners for like forex, commodities, Indian stocks, US stocks, world indices, gold. We have it for everything. So talking about the overall market, guys, I think USD DOM, if you just look at here, I don't know why the chart is not loading yet, but let's go to something else. Talking about FTM, so Phantom, I took a long based on the signals by indicator. I have already booked it, which was like here for like a 0.6 hour, honestly. And I still think that the way it is accumulating on the 15 minutes time frame, and this move is like an impulsive move, I think it should do something like this. It should probably run up like this, in my view, FTM. So I think we should, I personally feel that that FTM will run practically. That's what I think. Today we took a long on INJ. It's almost very much close to our entry, and I personally feel that INJ, till it's above 40.9, I think we are good, and INJ should be running up. Actually, I gave an analysis on my coin that I feel it's going to do another 1 or 2x move, and that coin was none other than Phil. Practically, if you guys have checked about it. Okay, so I want to discuss about Phil first, and then we can go for rest of the ICP or maybe something else. Neo, you want to check about Neo as well. I think Neo is definitely looking good on the daily time frame, and the way it is moving, it's absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna hold our spot backs. It has flipped the big levels, the green box that we have, and this is a huge accumulation, like a breakout on like a big accumulation. So this can be my another INJ coin, because I remember when INJ was having this sort of an accumulation, it not only broke out, but it just went nuts with at that point of time it break out. It was somewhere around $9 to $10, and if you remember, so far it did almost more than, I would say, 4.5 to 5x from there breakout. So practically, if Neo can also I wouldn't expect Neo to do that 4.5 to 5x, but at least give us 2x or 1x would be nice for me. Talking about one of the alt that I personally feel that it is bullish, and it's not about the feel that I have for this alt, but it's about the price action that we want to look at. And also the daily is given me the bullish signal over here, which means that the price since $5 is bullish. And I've been very vocal about for the fill that anything above 4.5 is just a must buy. Unfortunately, we bought as well, but we sold very quickly, if you remember, but that's fine. I think fill, any retest of the fill, if it gives you at 9.4 to $9.9 would be a very interesting levels for fill. It should not lose $6.5 basically, these levels, the red line that we have, because that's your range lows. You don't want to see it losing it again, because if it loses, then this whole bull count will get invalidated. So the bullish count for now is that the move that we saw on fill, this was like wave 1, this is wave 2 over here, a 1, a 2, and we are pumping up for a bigger wave 3, a small pullback and a run up. Like this is what I would like to expect on fill. So I'm yet not in on fill. I'm waiting for a retest, as I mentioned. Once it gives me a retest, we will see where Bitcoin is at that point of time, and then we can go in. My primary target for fill is $20. Basically easy 1x. 1x is very easy on fill. And in case if it flips the $20 levels as well, then definitely it has a lot of space to cover up, because it's going to be like fill is literally going to be pumping from the bear market. So practically it's going to be like 4x minimum, and the golden pocket zone would be somewhere around 7x. So fill can definitely do the 7x, that's what I think actually. So this is like a 7x coin, and maybe the way the rest of the coins have pumped, and this is the laggard. So if it goes, it can give you 10 to 11x as well. It all depends. So that's why I think fill is definitely a must investment, or probably a coin that you should be having in your kitty when you definitely get the retest or a pullback that we wanted and that we expect, not now, but definitely when it comes. CRV is going nuts, and I hope it just pumps, hopefully. Talking about one of the alt that have caught my attention, because every new alt has been pumping. So there was one more coin is Manta, and if you look at the daily time frame on over here on Manta, basically it looks amazing. I mean, why it looks amazing? Because you got an impulsive move on Manta over here, and now that we got an ABC, this is a clear ABC. To me, this is like a flag. So it is yet to break out of it, but I am having this eyes on Manta. Once this breaks out of this trend line, I see Manta doing a very similar move that it did. Practically, I see Manta, will minimum it should do 1:1 extension, meaning, so if you talk from the Fibs perspective, from here till here till the lows, okay, when we talk about it and when we draw the Fibs from here, a minimum extension would be 1:1 extension, which is like $4. And later, in my view, if we literally are bullish and we are flipping certain levels, then yes, Manta would be going to at least 1:1 at extension, and later it can go to 6.6 as well. So we really need this breakout on Manta. So basically, once it breaks out of this accumulation around 3.3 or so, at that point of time you can buy Manta spot back, and you can ride for at least 23% gains for $4, and the worst case scenario would be 1618, 58%, so 5.15. Now in case if 1618 is flip, then definitely I don't know how far it is going to go, but yes, then 100% is possibility with a $6.6 plus. But yes, Manta is looking good. You just need to have eyes on this coin. Basically, once it flips this trend line, you should definitely go in. Talking about our favorite coin, INJ is still in a very big accumulation, ladies and gentlemen. And if we talk about INJ, it's like a very clean ascending triangle over here. And you know, we are holding now, we have flipped the 39.8 levels in my view. So basically the LTF support is there. So practically, you know, if INJ needs to see a push or a run up, basically this is where it comes from. From here, INJ should give a, you know, a push up practically. And if you're not in an INJ, I think this is a bigger ascending triangle that we have seen so far on a coin like INJ, because when it breaks out like this, it literally break out and flip, it's gonna run up to a target of $60 and can be a bigger accumulator, because INJ is practically into the price discovery. You know, remember what FET did? FET pumped from 1.1 levels, the levels I mentioned last week, 1.1. It just went 1.1 retest, and out of nowhere it just pumped from there to my target of $1.9 FET. We are going to come to FET as well as to where we should be looking to buy in case if we do happen to get that flush on Bitcoin, because we are at the premium zone. Very much expected this flush or a pullback, you can say. But in case if it happens, then definitely for FET you should have your orders at 1.2 to 1.14 levels. So you can just probably have some limit orders on your spot bags. I would not suggest to have futures because it can liquidate you actually in a single candle. The exchanges are not gonna stop your, or you know, trigger your stop loss. It is just going to be like a stop hunt, and they're going to liquidate many and they're gonna run. So FET target in my view would be the bull run peak target for FET would be somewhere around 7.5 to 8.4 dollars, and till we are above 1.2. Once it loses that 1.2 and start closing back under 1.2, then probably this would be considered as a bear market rally, or it's just going to be like a B wave, and we're going to go for a bigger accumulation before, you know, any further move on an upside. So if you're holding from the lows, yes, I'm not holding exactly from the lows, but I gave that levels over here in 21M technicals in August at 0.226 if you remember, and I'm riding it till then, holding the spot bags. I'm not sold a single coin because I think that $7 to $8 is a possibility. We just need more hype on AI. I'm not seeing that hype the way it should have been on AI. You know, for Meta, you used to have Facebook, basically the Meta company was behind it, and a lot of big partnerships were announced and a lot of big projects were announced. Here in AI, it's so silent at this point. Yes, the coins are pumping, but there's not much bigger partnerships coming in, not much bigger announcements, not much like, you know, if Apple would have announced AI integration of any coin or something, partnership or anything, then probably it would have been amazing. You know, it would just probably give a wings to the AI coins. It would run very hard and fast. So FET would likely can do like what AXS did, and can be my, you know, 50x coin. Honestly, if I was, it can go to $10 as well. So 0.225 to 50x can give me roughly around $10 to $11 target. So practically that's a possibility for FET. So I think FET is a coin, is that coin that can do something like this. Now let's talk about, you know, so that's what I have for INJ, like ascending triangle. I'm still bullish on it, but once it loses this green zone of 39.7 to 39.3, then definitely I would turn bearish, and I would be then expecting INJ to go to 25.5 and maybe even $24 to give a retest and then run up. But for now it's bullish. Talking about FET, as everybody wanted to know about FET as well. FET on the hard-term time frame, my plan is still same. That's my plan. I mentioned that we are likely going to see a rejection from a 1618, and I expect it to give a retest of from 1618 to 1.272 and maybe even to 1.44. So ideally we should not go under 1.44, honestly, because I've seen the price normally don't go under these levels. So Muhammad, you need to hold FET for like maybe the target $8, minimum $3 is what we can go for 2414. But it's like in price discovery, so the fibs matters, and we would be having some big AI thing going on. So I would simply going to put my bigger fibs like for FET, which is going to be 7618, which is around $8.8, and we can just probably go slightly beyond those levels. So for now, I think FET is a hold, and it gave a buy signal as well over here around, as I mentioned, 0.596 on the daily time frame. If you look at here on FET on the daily time frame, or let's even talk about the 4 hours time frame, FET looks good at this point. It can probably pump from here one more time, making higher highs. But the best would be for FET if it can give us a retest to the levels of 1.5 to 1.48, just like a flush, and then probably do something like this, like a range sort of thing, and then probably run back up higher. That would have been nice. So let's see. I would be expecting something like this for FET. Now, one more coin that probably can do something like this, the way FET did for like 70-60% move, because FET is in price discovery, which means that when alts break or flip the previous all-time highs, it goes into the price discovery. Then probably you need to identify if the the levels or top based on the fundamentals of the coin. You can't, and especially using fibs, because you won't be able to find an exact top. That's how I did for Luna at 119, 119.5. I did for Bitcoin at 69.2 to 70k. I did for many of coins at that point of time, and I'm doing it right now. So this is what I see, the fundamentals. FET is having the capability to reach $8 to $9 billion of market cap. The product is good, everything is looking amazing in my view. So that's what, unless the team might do something shitty, but so far it's good. Talking about RNDR, so if you have missed FET, RNDR USDT, if you have missed FET, ladies and gentlemen, I think the coin that probably might give you a nice impulsive move on an upside can be RNDR. Remember, FET was here a few days back when like previous all-time highs of 7.9. that's where FET was around 1.2, and it was just simply accumulating, as you can see. Now if you just simply put it from the FIPS perspective, what exactly practically FET did, let's try and see what would be the fib levels probably we should be aiming for when we are talking about the previous all-time highs. So this is your previous all-time highs levels of 7.945. So once we're flipping it, let's see what FET did at that point of time. I know from 1.2 it ran to 1.9, so definitely there was a huge scope for FET to run up, and this was like a previous all-time highs. We literally went to 1618 after breaking up the highs, but then we literally on the lower term time frame, if you see, we accumulated heavily around the previous all-time highs around here. We were just chopping, accumulating here, and then we break out, and then we start running like this for like a big move. So if RNDR can also have a similar move like FET, so then probably I think RNDR can definitely give us a very big move to 1618, which would be 12.7. Honestly, if you can risk a bit, you should be buying RNDR around here at 7.3. It's a slightly riskier, because ideally I would have bought once it flips 7.959. Ideally that would be the safest way. And as a trader, yes, if you are not a risky one, then probably you should be following that thing. Just let it flip here. Once it flips, you long, and you can ride it till $12.8. But I do think that RNDR is also going to do similar sort of a thing. A pump of like 50 to 60% move on RNDR is very likely. The reason being, we already made all-time highs for RNDR on Binance. Maybe we can check somewhere else as well. Maybe, for example, we can check on KuCoin as to whether we did make all-time highs. So on KuCoin, we are yet to make the all-time highs on KuCoin, basically. So the KuCoin prices are around what levels? This is like $8.8, practically 0.8 cents higher. So I think the safest bet would be, once RNDR flips the 7.95 or $8 levels on Binance, you can simply long from there and let it ride to $12 and maybe even much higher. Just imagine the guys who would have bought here. I personally don't bought any around 0.4. They are almost up 18x, and going up like this can give 30x. But this is like the coin. AI is the coin that can literally give you 40 to 50x. It can just go $20-$30 specifically. So that's where it makes sense, for RNDR. So I think this can be a good gem, guys. Don't miss it. Have your alerts set for this coin, specifically on Binance. And if you really can afford right now, you can just simply buy over here at this point and simply hold it for, and maybe compound. If you really don't want to, hold your, let's say if you really don't want to go all in at this point, you can simply compound at that point of time. So that's how you should be playing, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I have for today's stream. I'm simply going to wait for how the Bitcoin is going to perform. Bitcoin is going to perform. Simply just want this. I was expecting the previous the all-time high to happen yesterday, but last time in 2020 as well, if you remember, I showed you on the stream that we never broke the previous all-time highs in a single slingshot. We rejected. We gave the 50% flush, 15 to 20% flush, V-shaped recovery, accumulated, and then run up. That's what we did, and we might do similar sort of a thing this time as well. So just in case, probably the flush is going to be very quick, guys. It won't give you a chance. So if you really want that to catch that flush, you should be having the spot orders for Bitcoin. Now the levels you really need to have a spot orders for Bitcoin would be, let me tell you, it will be very quick if it happens. I'm not sure if it is going to happen, but if it happens, you will be looking for a flush, a level of 1:1 extension slightly under this 58,370 on Bybit, and this can go till maybe 54,280. So that's how it is going to do, or what it is going to be. This is going to be like a big wick actually. So on the daily time frame, or maybe it just dumps like this, followed by a pump like here, this, and making new all-time highs. So that's how the bigger move might happen actually. So this can be a very quick pump across the board. The move that we might catch, everybody is going to be bearish again, and you can literally catch 20 to 30% move on Bitcoin at that point of time from that flush. So this is just a heads up for you. Just in case if flush happens, you should be having your spot bags spot orders are ready for Bitcoin for rest of the alts that I mentioned. That's all for today's stream, guys, and I'm simply going to wait for this what we do in this premium zone, because now we are having a volume. The pump is happened with the low volume so far on the daily, and we are having a slightly, I would say, slightest bear divergence on RSI over here. You see there is a bear divergence over here, and hence that is the first thing I would like to be slightly cautious on the daily. And also we are in the premium zone, and when that sort of thing happens, normally we might see a flush, and that's why I would say don't open much leverage positions, guys. Play with the spots, because spots, nobody can liquidate you. Actually, for some time you might be underwater, but nobody can liquidate you. So our CRV spot bags, I feel that even if it go back to our entry, it is just going to have a big bounce. If you have the spot bags, probably you should be, let's say if you're 100% in all the coins, then evaluate which coins are at big resistance, and then you can just free up some spot bags for like, don't free it up fully, maybe have 30% capital, so that 70% you should be having the spot bags, and then 30% freed up. In case of flush, you buy the 30% and you're going to convert the 30% into like 1x or 2x. That's how you should be doing. So that's what, guys. Have a nice day, and let's have a rock and roll with the launch of our screeners, guys. And thanks a lot for making it happen. Have a nice day. Bye bye.